Hi, I'm Stefanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast.
Y'all, what is up? It is Stefanie here, Chaotic Compass. I am sipping and I'm bitching and I'm talking about all the things. First off, let's just talk about how stupidly cold it is. I walked out to my car this morning and it was 19. Stefanie does not do well with the teens, okay? It is cold, it is wrong, and I'm not okay with it. So it's we're gonna start off drinking this evening because that's how we're gonna do it. So Tonight we are going to start off with a cider. So I've been drinking vodka and tonics because I've been trying to keep summer going, but summer left me like a bad habit and I am trying to bring it back so badly, but obviously it's not a thing and it's January and it is what it is. So, but I'm going to have a little bit of summer with a cider. So I refuse to switch over to rum and cokes because I don't know if you know, in the summer I drink vodka and tonics, and the winter I drink rum and cokes, but I refuse. So, but I love ciders, and I went to see my friends over at the Early Birds bottle shop down in Poquoson, Virginia, if you don't know, as if there's more than one Poquoson. So their selection with ciders, so I found it's North Country Hard Cider. It's in Dover, New Hampshire. And I selected the Honey Badger Hard Cider, guys. So we are going to try something new. Oh, so 4.75. So we're on the lower range of the alcohol content, which, I mean, basically that's a Bold Rock. So if you like a Bold Rock, that would be on the same level. It's not a Slide Clyde, which is up in the 6%, but... So we are going to, I haven't done this in the new year. Haven't done this in a hot minute, but here we go. Ready, guys? Bringing that back, popping the top in the microphone. Okay. So they do not have a story. So on the can, I'm going to tag them in my show notes. So go check them out. Here we go. That is different. Okay. So it's not horrible. Yeah, it definitely can really, really taste the honey, and it's definitely very different. So, go check out them, and I'll put their website in the show notes. And Dover, New Hampshire, yeah. So we'll have to put it on the bucket list of places to go. It doesn't suck. There are some of them out there. As soon as you say dry or champagne, I'm over here like, no, absolutely not. So. That's very yummy. It's fucking cold, guys. I'm over here, and this is why I don't have a video to go with this one, because I'm over here in a sweatshirt. I got my granny pants on. I've got a blanket on top of me. I'm bundled up. I have to turn the heat off because the vent is right behind me. So, I'm fucking freezing. And I'm probably going to forget to turn the heat back on. So I apologize to my whole family, because we're going to wake up in the middle of the night. It's going to be 50 degrees in the house. So who else is dealing with the cold? If you hate the cold, give me a whoop whoop. All right. So not just me, but the entire South, we just went through a snow, I don't know, maybe a week ago. And I mean, there's still remnants on my yard. It keeps thawing out and then refreezing and thawing out and refreezing, but it's still here, which for this area, it's a rarity. But there was a lot of snow to the south. I mean, give it up to the people that are out there that are living their lives like I grew up. Okay. So when I grew up, we couldn't afford snow pants and snowshoes, and my parents would wrap our feet in plastic bags, like the ones you would get from your grocery store, and then put it in your shoes, and then or put the plastic bags on the outside of your shoes, which, that would be a super fashion statement. And then, no, we can't afford gloves. So we get socks. Put socks on your hands and you put layers, all the layers. You just put, I think at one point, I think when I was in high school, I think it was my first year in high school, my freshman year, I put like 4 pairs of pants on. You got your thin layer underneath, and you got your sweatpants layer, and then I put 2 jeans on top of that. So back in the day, I know nowadays that's crazy, right? So back in the day, we used to have Jinkos. Look it up. They were very large and had so many pockets, but I had a pair. And they're basically like if cargo pants were on steroids. That was what they were. So here we are. But y'all, the snow in the South is just absolute chaos. And people are driving like they've never seen weather, and suddenly bread and milk are a luxury item. I don't know. For me, I'm over here. The item that I'm going first for, if I've got to be stuck in the house for days with my children, alcohol, guys. What are you? Bread, milk? No, fuck that. Like, alcohol is the number one necessity. But yeah, so for schools shutting down, I talked about that in my last episode, and so it's just. I just, it wasn't even that much snow. I just don't understand. And so anyways, like we've got snow down even in Georgia and no snow where it's supposed to be. I think New England called and was like, hey, I'll take it back now. Mother Nature, like we seriously need to talk. Like what's going on, bestie? What is happening? We don't. This isn't how we're supposed to be living. And then the other, chaotic Mother Nature moment. I don't even know if we can call this Mother Nature. I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but what the hell is going on in LA? LA is ablaze. It's complete chaos out there. And so, while we're just complaining about snowflakes here, California is literally an inferno. And there's just so many lives that have been lost and homes are destroyed. I know I usually am very lighthearted and funny, but it's serious. And it's such to watch it, to be on TV and to watch the social media posts that people are, and I'm not even going to get into like, somebody started it or it's just a conspiracy theory or whatever. I don't care. Right now, I'm more worried about, lives that are lost and like the firefighters and the volunteers and trying to get like stuff down there. And so all I'm saying, so this will be my one moment for seriousness. Hey, I mean, can you imagine looking outside and seeing your backyard on fire? I think there was one time like when Brian and I hadn't lived together for very long, and we had a little fire pit going, and the wind had blown the right way, and the kids that came in be like, the backyard's on fire, and we're like, oh, that's so crazy. And we come out, and it actually was, and I can't imagine like, that wasn't like that big of a deal. We got the garden hose and we spread it down, it was done. But can you imagine? I can't like watching not only your whole livelihood, everything go up in flames, but everything that you've known. It's not just your house, it's neighborhoods and communities. And I can barely handle when my kids leave a candle going in their room, especially Midget, our youngest, who's 10. Like, she got some candles, and I can't imagine, that setting our house ablaze. My anxiety with that, I can't imagine. So my heart fully goes out to, in all seriousness, my heart fully goes out to all of the people that are suffering with that. And my heart goes out to all the people that are still suffering in those affected with Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. And I promise you, I am a human. I'm not focusing on just one tragedy after the next. So we've got a lot of things that are going on in the United States, and it sucks. And so I just, there are support relief efforts that are out there for all of these tragedies that have happened as of recently. So please, if you can, please, if you donate if you can, or, just to give up some good vibes to the people that are suffering right now. And so also to educate yourself on fire prevention. So I don't know if you know, my kids make fun of me for this, but when I was probably my youngest son's age, maybe 12, I made a Pop-Tart, put it in the toaster, and then I had forgotten about it. I went and got in bath. Because that's what you do, right? You make your Pop-Tarts going, and it'll be nice and warm, and it'll be ready to go by the time you get out of the bath. I got out of the bath, and then I came, and the toaster was on fire. Our toaster was a crappy toaster. You push it down, but then you had to push it back up. It wouldn't automatically pop. The popper was broken. The toaster was very much on fire, and I tried to extinguish it. I took a glass of water and poured it directly into the toaster that was still plugged into the wall. So that was fun, but saw the sparks and then immediately unplugged it. So thank God I didn't get electrocuted and didn't burn down the house. But when we sold the house, there was still the char mark underneath the cabinet there in the kitchen. So lovely story. Told my kids that regretfully now. I was trying to educate them on fire awareness, and they still to this day, when I say, hey, okay, don't burn down the house, jokingly, they're like, okay, we won't make any Pop-Tarts. So I love them. I love them for that. So educate yourself on fire prevention, guys. So I'm not trying to change gears, but this podcast is supposed to be lighthearted. But I'm talking about all the things that are going on. And it's not just with me, but like, what is going on with 2025? Like, TikTok is now going away. I mean, what are we even doing? I think that's insane. I'm not an avid TikToker. If any place that I go, I'm going to go on Instagram. And I'm not even trying to make light of it. It's just, I think for me, that TikTok potentially being banned because of data security, because of the Chinese government, is insane. So for another government to potentially hack that is the concern. But if our own government, because we all know that Zuckerberg, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but let's just be real. It's okay for Meta and Google and Elon Musk to be able to have that data, but it's not okay for the Chinese government to have it. Even if they were hacking it, I mean, whatever. We have numerous companies. I mean, Verizon, T-Mobile, hell, this where this podcast go. Right? I mean, all of them, Spotify, Audible. I mean, they all have the ability to track all of this AI stuff. And don't get me wrong, I use ChatGPT like it's going out of style. Like me and ChatGPT, it's my new husband. I'm like, hey, I've got a problem with this. What should I do? And it gives me a list of problems. I'm like, well, actually, so I've got this and this. And then it's like, well, here's a new idea. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love you. Right? I'm telling ChatGPT that I love it, but it's like, is TikTok doing that? Let's talk about the economic factors that all of these people are going to have because TikTok shuts down. And this isn't statistics that this is facts from me and what I do. I know for a fact that TikTok pays out more than Instagram and Facebook combined. But YouTube, let's shout out to YouTube, good old Google, they pay more than TikTok. So, I hope that all of these short form content creators are finding their way over to YouTube, and then we all find them on YouTube. So, but the economic factors that this is going to have on so many small businesses is insane. So there's going to be a trickle down effect, and I really don't think that Congress understands how much money that it pays out, for sure. If you're on TikTok, I'm so sorry that this might be affecting you. But I think it's interesting how obtuse that Congress was when I was listening to them interrogate this poor guy that was from TikTok. And, go Google it. It's quite interesting. It's, and I feel like this is when the internet was coming about. And this is how old I am. Yeah. I was alive before the internet was a thing. Am I smarter than the internet? Hell no. But I am older than the interwebs. So I'm gonna take a drink to that. But when the internet was kind of coming about, the amount of oldness that was in Congress that was trying to understand what it was. And then when you don't understand what it is, then how are you supposed to regulate it? And so when you have career politicians, okay, I'm not voting red, I'm not voting blue. I literally voted for Mickey Mouse for the president. So I'm saying when you have career politicians in office and you don't know what's going on, okay, you really don't. And because you are of an age where you don't get it, right? And then you've got people that are trying to explain it to you. It's literally like when I'm trying to help my mother with her Roku. Okay. That is what we are trying to explain to Congress. And that it's, I don't know your password, mother. How am I supposed to know your password? I can't tell you your password because you made the password. And so why didn't you write it down? Oh, okay. Well, I can't help you log into your own account over here. So if you made the account, then how am I supposed to then reset the password? Well, then what's the email you created with? Oh my, and then it goes downhill real quick. It's a fun game. So that's Congress right now, guys. And it's not just with TikTok. It's just with anything. I mean, they don't even know what Skibbity Toilet is, guys. Okay, let's be real. Do I know what Skibbity Toilet is? No. But I'm not in Congress. Okay, so speaking of Skibbity Toilet, hey, did you know that in the state of Virginia, and it might be in other states, but I know in the state of Virginia because that's where I live, our school district has now implemented a bell-to-bell policy. You, as a kid in the county where we live, are not allowed to have your phone from the beginning school bell to the end school bell. But I found out that actually is not true. That's the policy, but I found out that is not true as well. It's also on the bus to and from school, which are only our boys who are middle school do that. So they can't have their phones on the bus to and from school, which they pretty much are on the bus for like 30 minutes. So that's fun for them. So I see what we're trying to do with the bell-to-bell policy. Like, I get it. I get what we're trying to do. We're trying to remove the distraction, and we're trying to get them to focus on school. But at the same time, you require them to be on a laptop, either a school-issued laptop, or they have to bring their own, and it has to be of a certain parameter. But with that being said, it's still an electronic in their face. And these kids are not dumb. They're still going to find a way to communicate with their peers I told Kylie, I was like, you know what I did back in the day, right? Cell phones were a thing, but cell phones were very much a luxury. And, we did nights and weekends. They were free. So we didn't call during the day. So if I needed to call my mom during the day, I went over to the payphone. Yeah, payphones were a thing. It was physically in the school. And I did a 1-800 collect. And when it said, please state your name, I said, hey, mom, I need to come pick me up. Please come pick me up at the school. Bye. And then hung up before build my house. If you know, you know. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to focus, but these kids are very intelligent. They're going to figure it out. And so back in the day when I was in school, when I wasn't trying to make collect calls that weren't really collect calls, I was folding notes. Notes. You guys, notes. We folded them up in cute little hearts and fancy little fucking things, right? Okay, so we did notes. I had a whole pile of them. I have no fucking idea where that box. I had a massive box full of just notes from me and my friends from high school. Most of them were, hey, what up? This class sucks. How you doing? Right. There was really no point, but that's how we communicated, right? Or we told them about who was annoying us or what, or what our crush was doing. And how we couldn't talk to our whatever, right? Pointless messages. But the kids these days, I think this is the 74th time this week that I have felt very old. And with that statement, the kids these days, they just don't know. They just don't know. They don't know how to write a good old-fashioned note and pass it in the hallway. When I brought it up to my daughter the other night, she was like, oh my God, a teacher would lose their shit. And I was like, no, you don't pass it in the class, you dummy. You pass it in the hallway. And then during that class, after you have received it, you read it and then you orchestrate a new note. And you make it all pretty with your awesome gel pens. Okay. Do we remember gel pens? Yeah. I'm literally flashbacking right now. And then we make it all pretty with our gel pens and then we fold it up in our awesomeness, whether it be a cute little teddy bear or a heart, or sometimes I could get the little bird, but most of the time it was just whatever. Or, you get the little fortune teller. Yeah. And then you fold it up really cute and then the next class. So my kids, my middle schoolers and my high schooler, they don't do school like I did back in my day. So we had 7 classes in a day. They do A and B days. So they have 4 classes one day and 4 classes the next. And then one class, their second class each day is the same class. So they have 7 classes still, but it's split up between 2 days. So my classes were very, very short. And so by the time I sat down, I was coloring and I was barely paying attention and I folded up my cool next note and then the bell rang and you'd go to your next class. That was it. That was what I would do. Anybody else, please give me I need to hear it. Also, I see the sides of my kids, especially my daughter. She constantly has, her headphones, but she has one headphone on and one headphone off, and she subtly listens to music. I'm 95% sure she has some form of ADD or ADHD, which I know for a fact that she does have anxiety, and so it helps with that. It kind of just tunes out all the other crap, and so she can focus. And I'm the same way. I play Grey's Anatomy reruns in the background right now. I'm watching, or well, not really watching. I'm listening to Desperate Housewives in the background while I work. I can't work in silence. When it's silent, like right now, it's silent and I'm focusing in on talking to you guys, but the silence is, it rings in my ears and I don't like it. I don't know what that is. I probably have a form of some kind of whatever, but it's fine. We're not going to dive into the psychological bullshit. But so I get that portion of it with my kids. I'm on the side of my kids too. And also, if shit goes down, like school shootings. God forbid. I'm not putting that out into the universe, okay? But if something were to happen, I would hope that my kids would be able to whip out their phone to call 911, or me at the very least, to let me know what's going on. Especially like with my daughter, she has PTSD because her school caught on fire right before COVID. And so every time the fire alarm goes off, she's over here like, oh gosh, we got this going on. And it's like, okay, it's okay. Just breathe. We're cool. And she's taking pictures and texting me. And it's really not that big of a deal. You know, it's like, okay, hey, just text me when you get home. Or now I've got the Life 360. So I'm basically stalking the kids. Anywho, hey, how are you? How's it going? How's it going that's the chaos that's going on in the United States and slightly in my life. So we got snow in places it shouldn't be, and fire where we wish it wasn't. And teens crying over TikTok. And it's not just teens, let's just be real. And schools are trying to pretend phones don't exist. So I encourage you guys to donate to the wildlife relief efforts, also to the Helene efforts for Western North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia. There was several states that were affected by that. But so I invite you to share your thoughts on any of the topics that I talked about, TikTok's potential ban or school policies. But more importantly, if you have a story that you would like to share with me, please message me. I'm on the good old Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I do have a YouTube. I'm trying to transition my TikTok over to there. And but you can reach me on my website at chaoticcompass.com. I have a contact page there. But so stay warm, stay safe, and don't forget to hug your phone goodbye, just in case TikTok disappears tomorrow. Or, you relive your high school days and somebody tries to snatch it from you. So until then, you guys, I appreciate you for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review, or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.